What is going on YouTube? And welcome back to my channel, JoJo Speaks. Thank you guys so much for joining us on this evening. This is our review for 90 Day Fiance, The Other Way, Season 6, Episode 16. I got my main man back, Dustin. What's going on, Dustin? How you doing today?
We're doing better. Thank you, Jonathan, for yesterday. It was a really rough day for me, Jonathan, and thank you for being very much for me as well. So thank you.
Absolutely. Anytime, Dustin. Anytime. So
Thank
let's start out with the couple who gave us the least on this particular episode so we can get them out the way. And that would be Shekinah and Sarper. So Sarper is helping Shekinah with her recovery. She's just had her third nose job, her third nose augmentation. He's saying that he doesn't want her to get any more plastic surgery, or maybe he didn't specify plastic surgery, but he doesn't want her to get her nose done again. But Sarper seems to be doing a very good job of taking care of her, meeting all of her needs, doing whatever it is that she needs for him to do for her. And I really do have a lot of hope for Shekinah and Sarper. It seems like
Yes, I do.
Sarper is at least trying his best to do what he can to stay in her good graces. And I think he's doing a pretty good job at it. And I don't
Yeah.
see really any red flags per se with their relationship, because although he does have a tendency to, at least from the outside looking in, seem controlling, and he's at least accepted that fact and actually spoken about it at their therapy session. But at least you kind of knows that's who he is and that's how he operates. And he knows that he really can't be the controlling man. He has his controlling ways, but yeah, I think he knows where to draw the line. And I think that's a
Yes.
great way to look at it. So, Dustin, what did you think
Mhm.
of the way that Sarper was able to take care of Shekinah this episode and her time of recovery from the surgery she had?
Well, let me just say, I want to say something really quick. I hope this relationship lasts. And
Hmm.
it brought me some uh, encouraging stuff that I needed to see that we haven't seen in this season yet so far, Jonathan. So
Right.
that's a part of that I stuff that I needed to see because I didn't think we had a lot of hope, but I think after this episode, I think I've seen the sight of the hope that we had before. But I think that I think that make it work out a little bit better for them if
I,
they if they continue on this path that they're on now. I think it would.
Agreed. I think so as well. Again, I think they have the best chance out of all the couples that are on this season of 90 Day Fiance. The other way, they probably have the best chance out of all of the couples that we're seeing to
Hmm.
actually make it, because their
And I don't.
problems seem to be sort of minuscule or
Hmm.
kind of secondary, as opposed to the problems that all of these other couples are having. These other couples are having way much more
Major
major
issues.
problems. Yes,
Major.
major issues. Yes, thank you so much for that, Dustin.
Yeah.
Much more major issues than Shekinah and Sarper. I think
Yeah.
what they have to work on can be worked on pretty easily. And as long as they continue going through therapy and try
Hmm.
to understand one another's love language, I think that they'll be able to make it out okay. So I have
Uh-huh.
hope for Shekinah and Sarper. They're not married, are they?
No, they're not married. I don't think they are. I don't think they're
Okay.
married yet. Mm-mm.
Okay, so we'll
No.
see, because they haven't really been talking about marriage, and
Yeah.
so I don't know if that's the end goal for them. Because couples who've been together for a long amount of time would typically have that as a conversation somewhere in the relationship. And as long as I've seen them on this particular season, I haven't been hearing them talking about any wedding bells. And so it'll be
Yeah.
interesting to see if that comes up later on in the season.
I don't
But it's
think
very interesting that
I
they haven't talked about it yet.
I don't think it will because we're getting ready to have a tell-all. Uh,
Right.
we're getting ready to have a tell-all because they're filming. I seen some previews for the
Oh,
tell-all. John, I seen some previews for the tell-all. Because I follow the host of the tell-all. I follow Summer
Sean
Overton.
Robinson. Hmm.
I follow her on Instagram, and they're already starting to film the tell-all. So I don't think we're gonna start. We're gonna start to. I think we're at the tail end of the season so far, and I think we're gonna have to wait for the next season to see what we want to see. But I don't think we're gonna see a lot more this season. I think we're gonna have uh, we'll start doing the 90 days before the 90 days show because I don't think that we're gonna have a lot more come out this season. We're at the tail end of the season so far. Hmm.
Right.
You know.
Yeah. Hey, Robin. Robin's in the chat. She just says hey to everyone. Thank you so much for
Hey,
being
Robin.
here, Robin. We love you, girl. And so the next couple that we need to talk about is Statly and Dempsey. So Statly and Dempsey. Statly, she's starting her job. She needs internet connection. She's not necessarily getting the right internet connection that she has, and she's worried about being fired, and she needs for Dempsey to go get her a part that she needs. I can't remember exactly what
Yeah.
type of part she needs, but Dempsey goes out to
A
get it, and she
computer.
also
She needed a charger for her computer, Jonathan. That was
okay,
like an adapter for her
okay,
computer, but she
all
didn't
right.
have it. Hmm.
Yeah, a charger for her computer, an adapter. Yes, I think that was the word, an adapter
Yeah,
for her
adapter.
computer. And Dempsey goes out to get that adapter. However, she does make a detour. It looks like she gets on what looks like a ski lift in the mountains. I'm not
Yeah.
exactly sure. I don't know if they're still in Paris, France, because I don't assume that Paris, France has much snow. I haven't heard that they have much snow, so
No, they
I
don't.
don't
They
know.
don't have much snow there.
Yeah, so I don't know
They don't.
exactly where they are, and I don't remember them actually showing where they were. However, Dempsey makes that little detour. It seems like it takes her a couple of hours, and Statly is complaining again. 'Cause Statly has been complaining this
Oh,
entire season,
yeah.
and she's so needy. She's so freaking needy, and it would be so annoying to me as her partner. It's like she's almost like a. I don't want to compare her to an animal, but she's just too needy, at least for me to be comfortable with you and actually want to be with you. You got to give me a
Uh,
reason to want to be with you, and you being
I
this
wouldn't want to
needy.
be. I
go
wouldn't want
go
to be. I wouldn't want to be in this situation. I wouldn't want to be in a relationship with somebody like that. Constantly, Jonathan, because that's not. Mm-mm. I'm sorry, but I don't want to be in a relationship with somebody like that. Mm-mm.
Yeah,
No.
Robin says, I confess that this week's episode, it was on, but I paid very little attention. But that does, and I am oh, without opinions. Okay, that's okay, Miss Robin. You can actually just react to whatever it is that we're saying
Yeah.
concerning the issues that are going on with these
Hmm.
couples that we're talking about today.
Yeah.
Excuse me. Robin also says that Shekinah is trying to best MJ in the rhinoplasty area.
Hmm.
That's what it seems like, Robin. That Shekinah is doing. She really wants to, and it's like, to me, Shekinah's beautiful, just as Sarper is. They're both two beautiful people, and
People.
they've
Yeah.
they've had work done, and it's like, it's time to stop. You look good as it is. Maybe wait until things drop a little bit more before you get something else done.
Hmm.
All the plastic surgery is not necessary. You are free to do it. Do it. How much ever you want to. But the people on the outside are letting you know that you are beautiful the
You
way
don't
that
need
you
to.
are.
You don't need the plastic surgery. That's just my opinion on that question. You don't need the plastic surgery, but yes, you can have the surgery, but you don't need it. You're just as beautiful without it than you are with it. But that's okay.
Right. And I understand where you're coming from with that, Dustin. I say, if you want to do it, feel free. We all have free will here. But back to Dempsey and Statly.
Hmm.
Statly has just been complaining the entire time. And Dempsey's really not working right now. And it
Right.
seems like Statly is holding that against Dempsey. And Dempsey is now saying that, she used to be alone, she used to be out on her own, and now that she's in a relationship, she has to consider Statly in every decision that she makes because that is her partner. And it's very interesting that she's considering Statly in every decision that she makes, whereas Statly does consider Dempsey, but as far as how it will benefit Statly, and not how
Right.
it will benefit the relationship. Statly
Hmm.
seems to be very selfish to
Yeah.
me.
She
Is
she is she is very selfish, Jonathan. She giving me the same vibes because you have to you have to think about the other person that you're with in a relationship, Jonathan. And I don't think she's getting that full. I don't think she understands that fully, Jonathan. Because and the same thing, that's the way that I am. So you just have to think about the other person the person that you're with as well in a
Right.
relationship. But she's not. I don't see that side of her that I need to see. But she 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 doesn't understand that side of it. I don't think very well.
Something tells me that Statly is not used to being in a relationship. I have a feeling that Statly is used to be waited on. She's used to people doing things for her on a constant basis. She's used to being pampered and babied and all this good stuff. At least that's what she seems like she wants a partner for, so that they can
Right.
pamper her, so that they can baby her, treat her as if she's an infant, so that they can wait on her hand and foot. It's like, sadly, you're a grown woman. You got to act like it. And she's really not acting like it. And when Dempsey comes back, she gets a little emotional and she's having trouble. She's having trouble with sort of kind of getting used to being in a relationship with someone and being around someone else all the time. She's having trouble adapting to
Yeah.
this
She does. She does. She's having trouble adapting to the changes.
Right, and
That's the words.
and I feel so bad for Dempsey because I feel like Dempsey deserves better. I feel like Dempsey deserves someone who feels about her the same way that she feels about them, as well as will consider her feelings in everything that they do. Robin says it's crazy to me. It's crazy to me how last season Statler, or I'm sorry, I've been calling her Statly. Statler insisted on parenting with Dempsey. Excuse me. The heck is up with her needy behind? Yes, I don't know what's. I don't know what Statly's situation is, and I don't know what. I feel like it goes back to her past and how she came up. And maybe because of her condition, once again, I think she's either autistic or has ADHD, one or the other. I think that people treated her like that. They didn't treat her regularly like anyone else. She was really pampered. She was waited on. She was, kind of babied in a way. And when you get used to that, it's kind of hard to get out of that kind of zone of, everyone kind of waiting on you hand and foot and you not having to do much work for anything. So, but I'm not sure where this relationship is going to go, but I do want for both of them to find someone that they're better acquainted with, that they can be more supportive of. And I think Statler has to get to a point to where she considers others in her decision making, and doesn't just consider herself. Dustin, what were you going to say?
I just think I don't think they're together anymore. But I'm just going to say allegedly for that one because I
That
don't
would
know
make sense.
if it's not. I don't know if it's official or not. But I heard that she's not together with her no more, and apparently she's already moved on. So we're going to find that out at the tell-all, I guess.
Right. And were you surprised that Dempsey seemed to get a little emotional when she got back to the RV?
Not uh, not really. I thought I I knew she was going to hit her breaking point one of these days. Uh, I had a feeling that it was coming on to that point, Jonathan. And honestly, I was actually expecting that to happen, um, because I feel like that she wasn't quite understanding the whole entire situation. But that's just what I thought about that situation right there.
Okay. Yeah. Robin says
Mm,
she ain't autistic and it is doubtful that she has ADHD. She is just self-centered, bratty, and needy. I agree with that, Robin. I don't know if she has any type of official diagnosis, but excuse me,
mm,
I don't know any autistic or people with ADHD in my personal life, so I don't know exactly the symptoms of what that necessarily looks like. Although I have seen it displayed in arts and letters, such as shows, TV shows, and movies and things of that nature. And compared to what
right.
I've seen, how I've seen it portrayed in movies and TV,
Mhm.
it doesn't necessarily add up, at least to me, Robin. And so I would have to
Yeah.
agree with that assumption. So
It doesn't really add up to me either, Jonathan. But I I don't know what that looks like, ADHD. So I don't really know what the I don't. It doesn't add up to me on that situation right there.
yeah, it doesn't add up to me either. But once again, as Dustin said, it doesn't seem like they're together now, and I would be very happy if that were the case. However, if they do come to the tell-all and they have already broken up, I hope that there's no animosity between the two,
Hmm.
because I think that would put Dempsey in a very
But do
weird
you,
spot because I think
but do
Dempsey
you
really loves Statler.
Oh,
But I don't think she wants to try to embarrass Statler. And so I have a feeling that Statler would have more of the proclivity to kind of go off on Dempsey. And I don't want to see Dempsey become a victim of Statler. I really don't want to see
do
that
you
happen.
think that do you think that she's gonna show up at the tell-all though?
It wouldn't surprise me if either one of them, if one of them didn't come. Like I'm thinking maybe one will come and one won't. I'm assuming that
Mhm,
might be the case if they are not together anymore. That's what I'm thinking is going to
mhm.
happen. What are you thinking?
I'm thinking that both of them won't show up. I
I
think that
would.
I think that Tia I think there's just so much animosity between this couple, so much differences this season. I think TLC would rather be safe, uh, be safe people. It would be safer with all the couples being there, and then it would uh, it would be make more sense if they wouldn't have them there to tell all, because it would just be a lot of disagreements and a lot of fighting and going on. But we also have to think that they are a big part of the season. But I just don't think that TLC would really want that on their set. But you know how they like to you know how they like to have uh, drama, Jonathan. So they would do anything for the drama part. But I just think that TLC would be better off if they wouldn't have either one of them at the tell all.
To be honest, I don't necessarily care whether both of them or neither one of them show up because of the state of their relationship. I'm really not interested. Like I've checked out for Statler and Dempsey. I don't
Me
care
too.
about them anymore
Me
because
too. Yeah.
of Statler. I can't. I have no care for them at all. So if they come, so be it. If they don't, good riddance. I just don't care. I really don't. So let's
Right.
move on to James and Natalia. So James and Natalia,
Mhm.
they're testing out the food that they're going to have at their wedding, and James says that they're well James both James and Natalia are explaining that their parents, they want them to have this big lavish wedding. Apparently Natalia says that she has over 1,000 people in her family. I don't know exactly how that's possible, but
That's a lot of
maybe.
people.
Yeah, well, but maybe with the fact that Indonesians really believe in having children, maybe that might be the reason why she has so many family members,
Maybe.
because
Maybe.
childbirth is so important in their culture. So I guess that could be true. But the father wants everyone to be able to come to their wedding, and they want to show them off. And my question is, are the parents willing to contribute to the finances of this particular wedding? Because
I don't think so.
if you want to
I don't.
add all these things, you want it to be so great, so big and so out of this world. What
I
would
don't.
you contribute? I don't know if they're going to contribute, but
I
they
don't
do.
think that. I don't
Go,
think they
go ahead,
will.
Desmond.
I don't think they will contribute to the wedding, Jonathan. I think they expect him to pay for the whole wedding, and if they expect him to pay for the whole wedding and they expect that everything to happen like they want it to, then it's not going to happen that way, Jonathan. But if they do help with the wedding, then yes, it will help. It will help whatever he wants it to be done. But I just don't think it's going to happen that way. I really don't. I
Right.
really don't think it's going.
Robin says, spoiler alert, and then in parentheses, she's put the word fake, and then says, Dustin is correct. They have broken up. Talking about Statler and Dempsey. So it sounds like they are actually broken up. But
Yes.
James and Natalia, they decide to have this conversation with Natalia's parents concerning them not having
Yeah.
children. And, James says, I'm at the point right now to where I don't want to have any children. And the look
Mm.
on Natalia's parents' faces, their faces, like they were laughing when they were trying the food, and the food was extra spicy, so James had a hard time, kind of getting it down. And I thought that was at least a little bit cute to me, and they were kind of laughing at him in that way. And then once
Hmm.
they brought up the children, their faces completely dropped. Like the
Right.
happiness went away, the laughing went away. James's in-laws, or soon to be in-laws, were saying it's but the point of having a marriage is to have children. And again, that's Indonesian culture. You know what I'm saying? Here in America, you know, we have the ability to choose whether we want kids or not. Me personally, and
Right.
Dustin as well, has said that, you know, we don't desire to have any children. Children are
No.
beautiful. Children are cute.
Mm.
At least when they're babies, they're amazing. But there's such a big
Right.
responsibility.
I
And you know, some people just don't want that weight on their shoulders. And
I wouldn't
that
as go
that
ahead.
Natalia's mother keeps saying that
Mhm.
you have an empty life without children. I think it's just a very narrow way of thinking. However, when you're
Right.
steeped in culture like that, you really don't know anything else. What were you thinking while that conversation was going on, Dustin?
Well, as you know, Jonathan, I do not want kids. I will say it again. I will say it however many times I need to say it. I do not want kids because of my situation, as Jonathan knows. I don't want any kids because I want them to go them to go what I am currently going through because I don't want any. I, I would want better for my kids, Jonathan. I don't want. I don't want kids anyway. But if I did have kids, I don't want that stuff to go through that I'm going through. You know, it's so hard for me to get through the day. Sometimes it's hard for me to get through the day. But so I don't think it would be the best thing for me to have kids. Plus, I don't want kids in it. I don't want kids in it anyway. But I'm just gonna answer that question real quick. I don't want kids anyway. No, sir.
Gotcha. And Natalia's mother also says, you know, maybe it might be better if you wait until you're more financially stable to have children, but
Yeah,
guaranteed, once they get financially stable, they gonna want to see them grandbabies popping out of Natalia. And
yeah,
it's so interesting to me how Natalia is during these types of conversations, even though it's not her decision to make, it's both of their decisions to make. But I like the
uh,
way that, you know, she
Mike.
just simply translates. She doesn't give her opinion because I think her parents already know what her opinion is on kids. They know that she wants them. So I just think it's very interesting. But to be
Mhm.
honest, I don't see things working out between James and Natalia because
Michael,
Natalia
Mike.
wants children so bad. And
Mhm.
when you have the desire to have children and you're with someone who doesn't want children, to me, it doesn't seem like it's going to work out. How do you feel about the future
I
for this
don't feel
couple?
I don't feel like it's gonna work out, and I've been saying that since episode 1 of season 6. I don't feel like it's gonna work out, period. Period, point blank, Jonathan. I don't think it's gonna work out with her, or I
Mhm.
don't think it's gonna work out with him because I just don't. I think that she wants kids, and like I said, you have to have 2 people on the same page when it comes to kids. So, you're gonna have to find somebody else that wants kids because I don't think this is gonna work out.
I don't think so either. So we'll see where this goes from here. It'll be interesting
Right,
to see where they go. But to be honest, much like Dempsey and Statler, I really don't care that much about this particular couple. It's the couples that seem like they're not going to work out are the couples that I
right,
lose so much interest in. Because if I don't see the love and I don't see the genuine care for one another,
right.
like I see with Sharper and Shekinah,
Mhm.
you know, it's hard to root for them because it's inevitable that it probably won't work out. But anyways, let's move on
Mhm.
to our last couple, and that would be Josh and Lily. So Lily's daughter comes into town. She lives in Beijing, I believe Lily said.
Yeah,
She's
big
an
thing, yeah.
actress. She's a beautiful woman, but she does not like Josh. And the main reason why she does not like Josh is because apparently Josh had a profile on a dating website or some other type of website, and
Yeah.
he
Mhm.
posted a Vietnamese woman on that website. And apparently, he was talking to this woman while he and Lily were on a little bit of a break, and then he ended up saying
Yeah.
that the woman had died, and that's the reason why he posted her picture. But it turns out she wasn't actually dead, and you know they were talking still or something of that nature. And she says straight up that she does not like Josh. And you know
Uh,
they later end up meeting up with Josh and his brother, both Lily and her daughter. And Lily brings up the fact straight up out the gate. She does tell her mother that she's a little bit nervous And Lily seems a little bit out of sorts as well to me, but I think that's
Mm-hmm.
because her daughter and her soon-to-be husband are going to be in the same space, and she probably doesn't know what to do with herself, knowing that the two
Right.
don't necessarily care for one another. But you know, the
Sure.
daughter, Lily's daughter, brings up the fact of this Vietnamese woman, and Josh goes into detail as to the fact that, you know, yes, this did happen, but this is when Lily and I were on a break. And then
Mm-hmm.
Josh also combats that with the fact that Lily was talking to someone else at the time, and he found messages between them. And Lily says that that was her diary. So to me, a diary is like a book. Not anything on the internet, but I guess you could have a
Yeah.
diary on the internet. But anyways, to
No,
me, a diary is in a book that you
a
write
diary is
in at night. So
a diary is not in the internet, Jonathan. A diary is a book. So, uh,
exactly.
I'm on the same page with you on that one. A
So
diary is a
so
diary is not the internet.
So it seemed a little bit odd the way that Lily was trying to explain this whole situation with this other American man. This was another American man that she was talking to, and she
Correct.
said that she didn't pursue this other relationship with this other man because Josh ended up coming back into her life. But Lily's daughter
Mm-hmm.
keeps on saying that, you know, Josh, you know, you keep deflecting, you keep not
Yeah.
wanting to own up to your faults, and then Josh's brother begins to talk to his brother, begins to talk to Josh about the fact that he's not taking accountability for his actions, and when anyone says anything that he doesn't agree with, he goes off on them. And Lily's daughter says the exact same thing. When anything comes up that Josh does not agree with, he sort of kind of verbally attacks, and that's not
Yeah.
necessarily ever a good thing. And Josh and
No.
Lily are supposed to be, at least at this point in the season, they're supposed to be getting married in literally 2 days. In 2 days,
Right.
they're supposed to be getting married, and they're still
Do,
having these issues that they have not
do you
addressed yet.
do you think, Jonathan? Do you think that that's actually going to happen that way? Do you think they're going to actually get married? Because I don't think they're going to get married. I really
I
don't.
I do think they are going to get married, and the reason why I say that is because if they were going to break up, they would have broken up far long time ago.
A long time ago.
And
Mm,
so I do believe that they're still going to go through with the ceremony. Now, how long this marriage will actually last is a whole nother question on a whole nother level, because
I give it a
I
year.
don't see things
I,
working out between Josh and Lily, and it's so much
mhm,
more than a language barrier. It's a trust issue. They don't
right.
trust one another, and also they're not being intimate with one another. And a preview for the next episode, Lily, one of Lily's friends, asked her, you know, when's the last time y'all had intimacy or relations? And Lily says it's been 7 months. And you know, when you're in the same space and you're not having relations with your partner, clearly there is an issue that is a brewing up underneath
Mm,
the surface. And so I don't know why Lily's there. I don't know why Josh is there. I have no idea why these two people are together, because
mm,
although they may love one another, my mother always says love is not enough. They have too many issues that they need to work out. And I don't know why therapy has not been a subject between the two as of yet. I don't know if they don't believe in it. I don't know if they don't believe that it would work. I don't know what the
mhm.
case might be, but maybe if they, you know, would at least consider some couples therapy to at least get into a better place or in a
Better
better
place.
space, so that they
Better.
can, you know, be in one another's spaces in a more positive way and not have so much, you know, because the thing is, when they're good. But it seems like
Right.
they're on bad terms more than they are on good terms. And that's never a good thing when it comes to a relationship. So
No,
I don't see
I,
them working out
I don't.
long term.
Never
However, I
do I.
do believe they will end up getting married. I don't believe that
I,
she will leave him at the altar.
I don't think. I think they'll get married, but I don't think the marriage will last very long. I think.
I don't think
Uh,
so either. So we saw in the preview that
mhm.
Corona finds out from her man's friends that he has been, you know, out gallivanting with other girls and things of that nature. So maybe this might be the time when we see Corona, you know, come out of her shell a little bit and, you know, do what she warned her man about.
Well, she got in a big fight with him at the very end.
Right, exactly. While they were throwing darts, and you know, she ended up leaving the restaurant or whatever type of bar they were in, and so
Yeah,
it'll
she
be
left the
interesting to
restaurant. Yeah.
see if she lives up to the hype that she gave herself for going off on people. I don't believe that she will. I think that she was kind of hyping herself up a little bit, putting 20 on 10 as far as that's concerned. But we'll see what happens. Her man doesn't seem like the type that would necessarily intentionally do anything to hurt her. So we'll see what happens with that. But that's all we got for this particular review. Dustin, well, actually, I'll give my social medias out first. You guys can follow me on Instagram. My Instagram is JoJo_speaks3020. My Facebook is Jonathan Lee. My email is williamjonathanlee@gmail.com. My Cash App is $Jonathan Lee 07. That's $JONATHAN 07. Dustin, give us your social medias.
My Facebook is Dustin Butler, and my Instagram is Dustin Butler 700. So anybody wants to go follow that, they can. And I want to thank Jonathan for being here as always. I love you, Jonathan, very much. And thank you for always being there for me.
You're more than welcome. It is my pleasure to be here for you. It's my pleasure to be your friend, Dustin. It's always a pleasure to be on your side and to support you. And Robin has this one last comment, and it says, can you next time, maybe tonight on Genesita's Live? Oh, I didn't see what the previous comment was, Jennifer. So maybe you can tell me a little bit later. But yeah, so thank you guys for joining us this evening. Join us next week, same time, same place, same beautiful faces. But until then, we'll say bye for now, y'all. Y'all have a wonderful night and an excellent weekend, y'all. Love y'all for watching.
Having a good night. Have an excellent weekend.